33-story hotel and condo project.
I'd probably be
Okay,
like
like
that.
stop, tap.
This is a plan by the community for the community.
This one here, show me.
No problem, Ken. Thanks for having me.
It's Kent Molgat for Kelowna Now. And we're joined by Bobby Kennedy from the bakery. Thanks for coming in.
Thanks a lot for having me, Kent.
So you're the business I was reading about that was has been a skateboard place for a while, but for the last few months, since December, I guess, you had this side business going on where you were providing cannabis, recreational and medicinal, to various people, until just recently. The city decided they had to shut that down. So what happened? And did that come as a surprise, or where does that leave your business?
You know what, our business is still very much intact. For the first 7 years, we're turning about 8 years old, I think, come April. We've only ever been a skateboard retail store, you know. Part of when we originally started was another kind of thing for the people. We provided an outlet for skateboarders and just youth alike to have a place to go. We had an indoor skateboard park, and we continued to build our brand. So in December, we decided to do this because of what the city was doing to the rest of the dispensaries, and they were shutting them down, and in turn, not just shutting the businesses down, they were shutting the people out.
So it's kind of a statement. You were doing this not really because it was your original idea for a business model. It was to say, hey, people want this product. Some people need this product. And so we're doing this.
Yeah, 100%. And we were aware what the end result would be from the get-go. So
you knew you would get into trouble, per se. Of
yeah,
some kind.
And you know what? There's different degrees of trouble, and I think this was one of those troubles that was worth showing the people that you represented them, and that what you were about, and standing up for your beliefs and what you feel is right.
Okay, so the city gave some documents, more or less saying cease on that. So is it done now? Is no more cannabis at the bakery, or where?
You know what? I can't say that for sure yet, because as of July 23rd, which would be next Monday, we appear back in court to further go on the matter. We were there last Wednesday, I believe, and we asked for a 2-week adjournment to be able to retain some proper counsel.
Would you like to ask them to let you continue?
You know what I've done in these last 2 weeks is we've got a petition going. So we've been getting a ton of signatures about people supporting the right for Canadians to have safe, timely, and reasonable access to medicine under the Canadian Charters and Freedoms Act. We have also been getting tons of letters from supporters, women with cancer, people whose mothers have been using it, all sorts of things, reaching out to the city. So we use this 2-week adjournment. Yeah, we did retain some counsel and some outside things, but we used it just as much as to gather the troops on this issue and be able to bring them down to the courthouse on July 23rd to show not just the courts, but the city who they are actually shutting out.
So you're not sure whether on that day you will be requesting to resume those sales or not? You're not sure what your strategy is just yet?
If the court was in favor of being able to continue to let the people access the medicine, then yes, we would continue to do it. But we want to respect the court's wishes on this matter because, like I said, it was much more about getting this issue out into the public than it was for me just to be able to continue to sell cannabis. So much as they've used marijuana over the years and calling it a gateway drug, we very much use this as a gateway issue to get the rest of the hard issues out on the main stage when the spotlight's on.
So the problem is, in your view, there just isn't enough access to it? Because I was to believe that people who had medical issues could get...
There are certain ways for them to access it. I mean, even one of our local guys, Doja Cannabis Co., they're what's referred to as a licensed producer. So the only real set stage for somebody who wants to get it medicinally right now would be go onto the internet, order it online, have it go in the mail, have it show up however many days later, and then, you know, get whatever they ordered. But they don't have any first-hand people telling them what it is. And what I found, especially with the more kind of senior people that may not be as aware of the new medicines and the properties and what they should and should be using, very confusing for them to just go on a computer sometimes in the first place, let alone then try to get their medicine through it. So
there's a bit of rigmarole, it's barriers to access.
There is, and I mean, for example, we have this one customer, she was quite a regular, her name is Jane, and she lives at one of the retirement homes around here, and we just happened to be on the stop that her retirement home bus makes. And she was coming in every day or every second day, and she suffers from extreme fibromyalgia. And she was using brownies because they just put her to sleep. Now, fibromyalgia is a skin condition, so she had told me that when you stand on your feet, it's the only time you're not in pain. But try being 74 years old, you have to stand up all day, and when you need to lie down to rest, because everybody does, that's when it's the worst part of your day. So I had even told her, you know, Jane, you can buy more than one of these at a time. I give them to you for cost. And she said, Bobby, I come here just as much for the product as I do for the hug you give me at the end and the feeling you give us on the inside. I feel like that's helping me heal my pain just as much as the product itself, you know?
It seems everybody's confused at this point. We've got the laws about to change. We've got cities that are trying to figure out, okay, how do we control this? Will we prohibit it here and allow it there? What do we want to do? And then there's the police. They still have these laws, which are soon going to be defunct. So we're in this massive gray area, and I don't know, what are your thoughts on how we sort of navigate through the few months leading up to October and then beyond?
Well, the thing that's very confusing to me is how far behind the city of Kelowna seems to be on the subject. So even I was reading an article the other day, it says legal dispensaries upwards to a year after the October 17th deadline. So July 1st was supposed to be the original legalization date. Right. So now they've gone that's 1 month, 2 months, 3.5 months past the legalization date.
Still Kelowna
says they're going to be a further 6 months before they even have rezoning it.
Yeah, only extending an even longer period of confusion and gray area and people popping up probably quasi-legally in the meantime.
Yeah, very much so. You know, I can't speak for other people or what they're going to do, but as far as just being so far behind the ball a year after legalization, when Vernon just the other day handed out another business license for them, they're the ones that put that in the paper, proud to be saying, hey, we're working with these people. And the one that baffles me the most is that our provincial capital of BC, Victoria, has been handing these out for more than a year, and they have everything in place. They have all the zoning bylaws, they have all the bylaw amendments, where to have it by schools, where to not have it by parks, all those types of things that the city of Kelowna could literally just get from them.
They could cut and paste.
They could copy paste that, and they could amend it in whatever way they want. So to me, it's not so much like, why are we so far behind? I wonder deep inside, is it, who are we trying to appease of why we're so far behind? Is there somebody getting kickbacks? What it is, they try to say that they're trying to create a level playing field for businesses and that they don't want new recreational ones that have gone through the proper steps competing with the legal ones. But even if we wouldn't have got petitioned to take the cannabis off the shelf, we would have 100% fallen in line with federal regulation come October, because that's when you actually would be breaking the law. It would be much like having a liquor store that's unlicensed. When there's the proper steps in place and they're actually allowing you to eat these things, then breaking the law is just ignorant.
I think it could be that just, you're encountering the politics of Kelowna, which tends to be a little conservative. Let the other cities be, more avant-garde with these things, and Kelowna maybe wants to be a year behind. That's all I can think of. But
well, to me, when they continue to repeat the phrase, we're trying to create a level business playing field, it actually just, to me, reiterates the fact that they're actually profit over people. And the Kelowna community motto is fruitful in unity. So when we have this many people standing on a unified front saying that they want this, they need this, and they don't think it's a problem, and that there's other real problems they'd rather have, it continues to amaze me that they ignore that.
Right. Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens. Your court date again is?
July 23rd, that'll be next Monday. We invite anybody and everybody that supports this issue to come down. We'll have a time shortly. We need to get in touch with the other side of the council for City of Kelowna. In the meanwhile, you can access me on Facebook, Bobby Kennedy. We have an online petition as well as a paper petition at our business, 1561 Pandosy Street, Kelowna, British Columbia.
I like the way you just turned to the camera and took over. That was awesome.
Right on.
Thanks. Bobby Kennedy, thank you for watching Kelowna Now.